Hi guys, in this session we are going to discuss about masking policy. Masking policy and row access policy are security features in Snowflake. In this session we are going to discuss about masking policy. In the next session we will be discussing row accessing policy. So masking policy helps us to mask the data in one or more columns in a given table. In Snowflake, we are controlling which user to see the data, which user not to see using roles. For example, HR role can see employee first name, last name, phone number and salary details. And other roles, they don't need to look at this data. This feature helps the users to protect the sensitive data by not to show to the roles which don't work with this data. I think you got the point. So to apply this masking policy, we need to follow two steps. The first one is we have to create the masking policy, and once we create the masking policy, that to be applied to a given table. Okay, let's start with the step number 1. This is the syntax to create the masking policy. Create or replace masking policy name as value as a parameter and return string, and this is the syntax that Snowflake asking us to use. After that, we have to provide a case condition. Can you remember I was telling in Snowflake we are controlling which user to see the data, which user should not based on roles. So look at the condition here. Case when current role in, specify the roles whom you want to give the access to see the actual values. If they belongs to any of the roles you have specified in this condition, then they have to see the actual value. Else they should see the masked value and close the case statement. So make sure that the user which is loading the data into the target table should also have the access to the original data. So it should be production user role. Let's create this masking policy. Masking policy got created. Now let's create a table and we'll apply the masking policy to a particular column in the table. Okay, let me create this table. I created this table and applied masking policy which we just created to the column customer name. Since this table is empty, let's insert some 5000 records into this table. To test this masking policy which I have created, I am creating a user called John and I am creating a role called finance, and I am assigning this finance role to John, and we are going to check whether the John can access the actual values of column CNAME. So logically, he should not see the actual values because our masking policy says if the current role belongs to either account admin or production user role, then only we are asking to show the actual data. Else, and we said to show the masked data. Okay, let's go and create a user. Okay, I created a new user, John. Now, let's create a role. Role got created. Now, give the usage access to the role we have created and give the usage access on the schema and give the access on the warehouse. Now, grant the select access on the target table, that is customer_MP. I have given access to this role. Now let's grant role finance to the user John. Okay, now John belongs to finance role. Let me log in using John credentials. John. Now let's change his role. And this is our table, right? Let's see whether John can see the actual values of that column. See, he cannot see the actual values. He can see only the hashed values, or you can say masked values. I logged with account admin role, so we can see the data. Now, one more point is, if you want to assign masking policy to the table which is already created and it has the data, you can use the alter table command to do that. Alter table, table name, and then say alter column, column name, set, and then specify the masking policy name that you want to apply. Let me run this command. Yes, masking policy got assigned to this particular column. If you want to drop the masking policy from a column, you can just say unset. Unset masking policy. Masking policy is dropped from this particular column. Now following are some SQL statements which helps us when we are working with masking policies. Those are show masking policies. It specifies what are all the masking policies that currently you have in your account, and run the same command show masking policies from the John's login. He did not get the result. Why? Because he don't have the access on any of these masking policies. Result from the dictionary queries varies based on the role we are holding. And if you want to see more details about a given masking policy, you can use describe masking policy. Here is the masking policy name, and this is the condition you have applied. If you want to find out what are all the tables which are using a given masking policy, you can run this table function. This policy references table function takes policy name as input, and when you run this query, it provides the list of tables which are using the given masking policy. See, this is the table using this masking policy. We have one more option. We can query account usage object from data dictionary. Policy name is customer data masking that we have created, and it is using in this particular table. That's all for this session. I hope you understood masking policy. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for subscribing my channel. See you. Take care.